I'm not really sure that's going to be protected from the rain enough in under there. My other two sheets are just in against the wall for now. Hi, good afternoon. It's probably been at least 2 weeks since you saw me last because life has been testing me lately. Got the car back. I don't even know where to start. It's not fixed. It's not fixed. We'll talk about it another day. Maybe after everything's resolved, but let's just say I have zero faith in mechanics these days. And it's because they give me zero reason to have faith in them. On top of that, I ended up finding out that the whole clutch issue I'm having was actually caused by an incompetent mechanic. So yeah, pretty stoked. Pretty stoked. Anyway, getting out of the rain. My next project I'm hoping to accomplish is to get the floor done in here. Now, you'd think it would be easy to find the insulation that you're looking for, but with the luck I've been having lately, let me tell you, it was not. I spent all day yesterday hunting down the materials to get started on this project, and I wanted to get 1-inch butt edge XPS insulation. And do you think I could find that anywhere near me? No. What I did find was 1/2-inch butt edge XPS. The only problem is it came in 2x8 sheets instead of 4x8 sheets. Not a big deal, right? I need 8 of them to go the length of this box truck. I'm totally aware that I could have bought double the amount and layered it up to have 1 inch all the way around. But I'd have to buy 16 panels of insulation, and after the day I had yesterday, I said the hell with it. I'm getting 8 sheets of 1/2-inch, and that's what's going on my floor. Yeah, I can see my breath, what the heck? I know what some of you are thinking, 1/2-inch is not gonna be enough, but you need to keep in mind that this floor here is at least 1.5 inches thick. Got 1/2-inch insulation, 1/2-inch plywood, so that means my floor will then be at least 2.5 inches thick. I'm also going to eventually, just disregard that, have a diesel heater plumbed through the floor and have the heat running along the floor as well. I really don't think I'm going to have a problem with my floor being too cold in the winter, you know, with the amount of materials that are going to be on it. On top of the plywood, I'm also going to have a vinyl sheet, which I picked up. Yeah, I wanted to do 1 inch of insulation, but like I said, it didn't work out well for me. And yeah, I could have layered them up, but then I probably would have went through a bunch more of tubes of adhesive to stick them together. And like I said, the day I had yesterday, I said the hell with it. We're doing the 1/2-inch, and that's going to have to be good enough. Know one thing's for sure, the floor in here is going to be warmer than it is in there, and I lived in that thing for 9 winters. Don't stress about it, it'll be fine. I'm not framing my floor, I'm just kind of doing a floating floor situation. Adhesive, insulation, adhesive, plywood, and I might end up putting some deck screws through as well. Some of you might cringe at the thought of putting screws down through the insulation and into this floor here, but I'm not a professional, but guess what? People do it. And it works out okay. The thought did cross my mind about just going ahead and putting my vinyl right down on this floor here. I've got a lot of imperfections, as you can see. A lot of, you know, spots where the screws were sunk in. Just a lot of imperfections. So it also would have been a lot of work to go ahead and stick some crack and gap filler in here and, you know, sand it all and do all that. So I'm just literally going to be sticking my insulation straight over top of it. Plywood on top of that to give myself a nice smooth flat surface to work with. I've swept this floor multiple times already, but I honestly think it's impossible to get all the little styrofoam pieces from my insulation. I'll get what I can. I'm going to get the vacuum out too. Yesterday when I picked up my plywood at the building supply store, the guy was helping me load it into the truck here, and he walked it forward and just let it drop on the floor. And unfortunately I had my pass-through door open and all the dust, I swear, flew into the cab. It's disgusting. I wasn't expecting him to drop it like that, but...
Customer service these days.
It's raining outside, so I've got inside slippers to not get my floor wet. When I get in here, I drop my sneakers off by the door. About 91 inches. Maybe a little less. Just slightly less. I've got one of my sheets already ripped in half so I can stagger my seam. I'm going to put this one up front. I need to cut this to, like I said, just under 91 inches. And I messed up here with the table saw a little bit, so obviously I'm going to be cutting this end. Oh geez, maybe I still need to trim it down some. Ugh, I hate that sound. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I still need to trim it. Oh, I see. We get curvature here in the corners up front, so I'm going to have to curve around these front corners so I can push that in there flush. Okay, I just wanted to see how two pieces were going to, you know, butt up together before I lay any adhesive down. But I think I'm going to start throwing some adhesive down, put these panels down in place, and then I'm going to get another one set in here going across before I lay my first sheet of plywood down on top. For my adhesive, I'm laying down under my foam board. I'm going with the foam board adhesive that I used before because I have some left, and also I know this stuff doesn't damage your insulation. There's literally adhesives out there that can like melt your foam board insulation. So I know this stuff is safe, it's meant for foam board. I know you can get the Loctite foam board tubes. I can't find that anywhere. Small town vibes. Probably need to order it. Oh my gosh, what's wrong with this? This is my old tube from last year. Oh no! Wow, I've never had that happen before. Trying to get some of my adhesive out, and it's really backfiring. I don't know if there's a plug at this end, but I mean I had a screw in there. I took it out and it's all coming out this side, so I guess this is no good. Well, on to the next tube. What a mess that's making of this caulking gun. And when I said life was testing me lately, this is just mild, but it's just a small example. Yeah. Okay, I'm ready for my first sheet of plywood. I forgot the edges up there, the corners up there around it, so I'm gonna have to get creative because those sheets are heavy. I kind of want to get this in one shot and not have to keep taking the plywood out and trying to cut it properly. And oh my, I'm probably just gonna take my jigsaw to it and kind of try to curve the edges a little bit. Maybe I should have held on to that first piece as a template right? But I wasn't thinking. Well, I found the edge of the insulation I took off. Tried to do a little template on my plywood here. Diesel heater kicked on again. I must have it set way too hot. I'm sweating out here. It can't be. I think it's set to 18. Anyway, I'm going to try to snip this off with a jigsaw and hope that when I take it in there it fits properly, because I really don't want to be pulling this as heavy as it is in and out of there numerous times. I don't know if that's going to work with the curves in there, but I just have this feeling that this is not going to be the perfect fit. Oh, please just fit like a glove. Wouldn't that be pleasant? Gosh, not so easy. Not so easy. Why do I get myself into these things? Oh. Okay, I'm just going to ruin my insulation here. See what I'm saying? Oh my gosh. I need to move some things out of the way here. This is not working. Okay. Please work. Something weird is happening. It's like it's catching. Oh, there we go. There we go. Now. Okay. Oh my gosh, did that actually work? Shut up, that worked. No way. It actually worked. I do have to pull it back out and put some adhesive down. Now that I'm looking at it, if I went with a full inch, I would struggle. I mean, I thought I had enough room, but now I'm seeing that I 100% would have struggled to fit. I would have had to cut that board down some. That one already was cut some. That was a workout and a half. I grabbed a few of the heavier items I could find to just kind of get my plywood as flat as I could on top of that adhesive. The adhesive I'm using is by no means any super strong adhesive, but like I said, I'm just trying to give it the best chance I can to stick. I'm pretty sure that's a giant splinter. Fun. There. Second plywood sheet is down. Oh, this one's a lot better than the first one. It's not as bowed in places. Yeah. I think what I'll do is take all my heavy stuff and move it forward onto this plywood piece. You know, hopefully it's adhered as much as it can be in the first one. And that's all I'm gonna get done tonight. It's coming on dark. I still have to get a fire going, do my dishes, meal prep. Yay. If I'm being honest, I have a sinus headache at the moment, and every time I bend down, my head just boom, boom, boom. Took 2 Sinutab like 10 minutes ago, probably, maybe a little more. And when that kicks in, I'll probably crash and crash hard. So I'm not gonna try doing anything else tonight. Except, before it gets dark, I do wanna cut to fit these 2 plywood pieces, and then I'll just throw them back in here to store them in out of the rain. Other than that, I'll catch back up with you in a week. I think that's when I'll be able to work on it again next. Okay, we got the sheet up front here completely screwed down. I did basically 3 on each side, and I did a bunch, not a bunch, you know, the front edge here, several along there, and I staggered some here in the center. I don't know if you can even see my screws because there's so many markings in the wood, but you get the idea. Definitely feeling a lot more sturdy. Yeah, screws were definitely needed. Whew, it's hot in here. I don't know if I mentioned it or not. The adhesive was mainly just to avoid squeaking, like your floor squeaking. But also it doesn't hurt to use it. Screws going through the floor makes a big difference. Is that rain or snow or both? Because it's looking like both. What do you think? Huh? You don't care, you're warm. You don't care what it's doing out there. You don't have to go out and work in that. I hear ya. Yep, definitely snow. Good thing it's almost May. Oh, it's like the sun wants to come out now. Have you ever seen it this empty in here? Because I haven't. Not for a long time. Anyway, the floor is done. It's in. I mean, it's not done, but the floor is in. I've got my screws put down through, and it's nice and level. There's no squeaks. Quite pleased with it. So today what I'm going to do is prime it. I'm going to do 2 coats. But before I do any of that, I do need to sweep it and vacuum it because, well, there's a lot of dirt. Got my primer here. It's for all surfaces, water-based, interior, exterior, mold and mildew resistant. That's what I'm going for. Low temp application. That is important. Not exactly the warmest day today. I think it's 4 or 5 degrees. Hoping this stuff will actually dry within the hour dry time it says. At this temperature, we'll see. sure what you can see because the sun's kind of coming right in here, but the first coat of primer is on. It says it takes about an hour. I'm not sure with these colder temperatures, maybe it'll take a little longer. But I'm gonna let that do its thing and go get some groceries and run some errands. I hope that by the time I get back, it'll be dry and ready for a second coat. Next part is laying the vinyl. It's really getting cold, so I'm probably gonna wait and do this tomorrow in the afternoon when it warms up some, just because that vinyl is gonna end up being super stiff and hard to work with. It is anyway, but tomorrow when it's warmer should be better than right now. My floor with the primer just looks so clean, but unfortunately I can't leave it white with primer on it. So got my roll of sheet vinyl over here. I'm not in love with my floor, but I went with it for a reason, okay? I went to various floor places and the majority of them only had 12 or 13 foot rolls of sheet vinyl, which is fine, but because this is 16 foot in length and I only wanted one sheet and I don't want to have to be piecing together sheets, that would have meant I would have had to have bought a 12 by 16 sheet or a 13 by 16 sheet. And since you pay by the square foot for one of these, it would have cost me more and then I would have had scraps that I can't use. This stuff here was the only stuff I could find that actually came in a 16 foot plus roll. So it was easy for me to say, hey, cut 8 feet of that off for me, please. I think it was 16 foot 5 inches. So that leaves me with essentially like hardly any scrap at all. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not wasting money on ending up with scrap that I can't use anyway. And vinyl's not cheap. A lot of it was more than $2 a square foot. This in particular was, I think it's called something oak, I can't remember now, but anyway, it was $1.75 per square foot. In order to do this space, I needed 128 square feet of it. All in all, still not cheap. It ended up being over 250 bucks with tax. But this is the type of floor that I wanted to go with from the start. I just thought it would be, I don't want to say easy because we know how that goes, but I just thought it might be the better option than having to like piece together a floor and do the stick down thing. I did that before. Don't really want to do that again. This is essentially just going to be one solid piece laid down on the floor. The other problem with it is that because I got the 8 foot cut off and not 16 foot in length, it means that my wood pattern going like this has to go crossways on my floor, much like the wood on my wall up here going crossways. So instead of going lengthways, which is typical of this pattern, I have to go this way, which might drive some people crazy. It is what it is. Like I said, it was the most affordable option for me. After the costs from, you know, putting everything in here adds up, you tend to go with the more affordable options sometimes. I don't really love it. I also don't hate it. I've just accepted that this is what my floor is going to be. It is, you know, brown in color, so it shouldn't show like a light brown. It shouldn't show dirt up too much. It's got a lot of dirt on it from the floor at the flooring place, I guess, or whatever the reason, but anyway, this is what I went with, and I'm about to try and lay this down in here. It should be fun. Also, it's incredibly heavy and thick, so I don't know if it's like luxury vinyl or whatever you call it, but yeah, it's heavy. See, this is the pattern. This is the way the pattern is supposed to go in floors typically. Lengthways if your room is skinnier than it is wide. But like I said, since I got it cut to 8 feet and it was a 16+ foot roll, I have to do it this way. Okay, this gives you a rough idea. I just have it setting here and I'm getting a reflection from that. Yeah, I need to pull this up more so that it's flush up here. Cut the corners. I don't love it, but I think once everything else gets in here, the walls get painted, the last thing I'm hoping that I'll notice is the floor. It is what it is at this point. It's darker than I would like as well, but yeah, so essentially this is about the amount of scrap I'm gonna have once I get this cut down. I picked up flooring glue that would work with vinyl. When I went to the flooring place and I got this cut, the guy that owns it, so he knows about vinyl and how to lay it, he said, "You don't need that." I'm like, "What do you mean I don't need that?" He said, "You really don't need it. It's heavy stuff. Once you lay it, it'll stay put. You're going to be putting things down on top of it. You don't need adhesive at all, really." But when I mentioned my concerns about it being in a vehicle, he said, "Well, if you really want to use an adhesive, just get a spray adhesive." And he let me know that on the rare occasion he does use it. He uses this 3M Super 77 Super Strength spray adhesive. He gave me what was left of this can, but he said it wasn't enough, so I went out and picked up a brand new one of these, $20, which is a lot better and a lot more affordable than the $60 glue plus trowel I bought for the floor originally. So I ended up taking that back and not using it. The spray adhesive should end up being less work anyhow. Okay, so up here in the corners, I've got it trimmed enough that I could work it in under all of this. I will be putting a flat piece of trim across the doorway here just to clean that up at some point. So I'm gonna have like 1-inch spacers coming off of these metal ribs. So the walls are gonna be coming out past this part of the floor anyway. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and trim all along here, get rid of that excess. I'm gonna do the same thing up here towards the door. Get rid of all the excess, and then I'm going to worry about the adhesive part of things. So essentially I went with this floor so I could have only that much scrap and not like feet upon feet of it. Another thought I had was to maybe actually just leave it set in here for several days to flatten out on its own and then lay the adhesive down. I might actually do that. So the spots where it naturally wants to create a little hump in the floor has a chance to kind of like flatten down and settle down. I might do that. I might let it flatten itself out first and then lay the adhesive down. Floor is in and it's cut to fit, so is it perfect? No, but neither am I. Also, to avoid this little step up here, I've got one of those things from Amazon coming. I think it's called like a transition edge, and it goes over here and it just ramps down onto here, so it's not like a tripping point. Hopefully that makes sense, but I do have one coming in the mail, so when it gets here I'll slap it on and we should have a nice little ramped trim. I think that's going to be it for this one. The floor's done almost. Like I said, I do want to give it a few days to hopefully flatten. I just want to get those humps and bumps out of the floor before I go ahead and put the adhesive down. So yeah, one more thing checked off the list. We have a place to plant our feet. I'm glad that it's done, almost done. Feel free to let me know your opinion on the color and pattern. Like I said, it is certainly not my favorite, but it's just a floor. So I hope you're all doing well. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.